Thanks for joining us on the Steve Kenyon Podcast. This weekend is a big event in Uvalde, Texas. I'm joined by Don McLaughlin, who is the president of the Cactus Jack Foundation. And there's a big Xtreme bull riding, actually a 3-day event that starts Thursday, runs through Saturday. Don, welcome. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it. I know you're really busy because you're about to kick off something that's a big deal, I think, in Uvalde.
It is. This is. We started this about 13 years ago, and it's grown every year, and it's been a real success. It's always a trying week, but a fun week.
Yeah. And it probably is. I mean, it's Wednesday as you and I are talking. It'll be Saturday night. It'll be like Christmas when the packages are all opened up, and then the only thing left to do is put the paper away. All of a sudden, it's going to be over.
Yes, sir. Well, we're all excited. We're out by Monday of this week. We're all excited. By Thursday, we're going, when's Saturday going to get here?
Yeah.
And Saturday, we're smiling from ear to ear because we know it's another one in the books, and we survived.
Yeah. This is an event that is a benefit for something called the Cactus Jack Foundation. And I just want to read from your website, which is UvaldeCactusJack.com. The mission of the Uvalde Cactus Jack Foundation is to enhance the community by investing in our youth through the support of positive behavior interventions and supports programs at UCISD and other local schools by providing incentives to reward positive behaviors. The foundation works to create an environment that is conducive to successful learning opportunities for students so that they can meet the educational needs of UCISD and become productive members of the community. That's a big chunk right there. And it's also one of the most wonderful missions you could be involved with. That's the mission statement. Is this your primary fundraiser? Is this one of your primary fundraisers? Where does this event this weekend fit into all of that?
This is our primary fundraiser. We used to have, a smaller fundraising in the fall. We had a local benefactor who passed away, but he always made his ranch available to us and had an event out there in the fall we did. But this is where we get the lion's share of our funds to give to the school is this weekend.
Can I ask you Steve's dumb question of the interview right off the bat? Explain the name, the Cactus Jack Foundation. Where'd that come from?
Well, it came from, John Nance Garner was a former vice president of the United States. You're going to get my history in trouble here now at 30s or 40s, but his nickname was Cactus Jack. That's what they called him, and that's where we wanted to. He was a strong advocate for our community back in those days, and we wanted a strong role model to use, and so that's what we chose to honor John Nance Garner and Cactus Jack in Uvalde.
Awesome. So that was, I always wondered about that, and now I know. The 32nd vice president and a Texas congressman, John Nance Garner. As a matter of fact, I just did a quick Google search. So tell me about the weekend. What do you got planned?
Well, starting Thursday night, we have the ranch rodeo bronc riding, where we have 25 bronc riders that have come in. We have one female bronc rider who's going to be riding in that event. And we will have 25 bronc riders tonight. And after that, we will have we'll take the top 6 from the bronc riding, and then we'll take the 40 bull riders that we have coming in, and we'll have a Calcutta, which the foundation benefits from the Calcutta. We get a percentage of that Calcutta for our foundation, which is another big help to us also.
You and I talked yesterday. Your foundation has given a massive amount of money back to this community.
About 800,000, a little over 800,000 to date.
Wow. That's got to feel good to be able to give that much back and to tangibly, I hope, see the results.
We are definitely seeing the results. We hear from the teachers and so forth. And the one thing that we like on the behavior modification deal is they'll set up stores at their campuses, and we will fund that store with goods. And those students, if they get to their reading level, then they get a PBIS $1 or $2 or whatever it is. Then they can go to that store and buy something that they want in that store.
Yeah,
and so it makes them buy into it.
I've heard people who are younger than you and I are, Don, say that they're not sure they would want to be parents today because there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world. Um, Being able to reach out to kids and help to teach them and be a positive impact in their life. You just gave us one example of what you guys do, but that's got to be an interesting opportunity for you right now. I'm not sure where I'm going with that question, but we live in a really interesting time right now, and being able to give back to kids in schools is something I would think would be pretty important.
It's very important. I mean, the whole basis for founding this foundation, when we got together, the men that got together to do this, is we wanted to let these kids know that there are people that care about them out there, and there is a love for them out there, and we want to see them successful. And so that was our goal in forming this foundation to begin with.
How old is the foundation?
So it'll be 14 years this year. We've missed 1 year with pandemic, but this will be our 13th. We're 14 years. This will be our 13th bull riding.
Tell me about Uvalde.
Uvalde is, it's God's country. Of course, everybody says their community is God's country. We're on Uvalde is a farming and ranching community. Is how it was, originally started as a farming and ranching community. It's grown now. I mean, we do have some industry here, not enough, but it's still a small town. We're 17,000 people, but it still has a small town feel to it. Most everybody knows everybody in town. I can't say I know everybody now, but somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and so forth. But but you come into Uvalde and Uvalde's a welcoming place. I travel in my business and work all over the United States. I'm always want to come home to Uvalde. I'm ready to get home to Uvalde because it's just, I mean, even the people that come into Uvalde, they say how people are friendly to them, make them feel welcome and so forth. And that is Uvalde.
Yeah. Tell me why a bull riding? How did you, when you started the Cactus Jack Foundation a few years ago, how did you settle upon events like this as your primary fundraiser and opportunity to help to grow your process and the good works that you do?
Well, Uvalde, every one of us that did this at one time or another in our life rodeoed, whether it was in high school, junior high, or on the college level or whatever. And, Uvalde used to have a big rodeo here, and it was a big success in that. And then over the years, it just kind of died out, and we wanted to bring that back or something like that back.
Yeah, Uvalde's actually you host the big qualifier for the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo that takes place every year, and now here you are involved in this event as well. So I guess it's a pretty good rodeo town, huh?
It is, and we have the junior college here, Southwest Texas Junior College, that has their rodeo here every October too. And the last couple of years, we've had several members of our rodeo team from the junior college that have made it to the national level and won it.
I talked to Danny Reagan the other day from United Pro Rodeo, and he's actually the person that put me in touch with you, Don. And he was talking about how much he loves coming to this event. He just thinks this bull riding is big time fun.
Well, we've grown it every year with Danny being a part of it. And then when we brought the PRCA in full time on that, this thing has really grown. I mean, it's talked about in town. People look forward to it every year. We'll have between, each performance 2,000 to 4,000 people a night.
Yeah.
Maybe more. We've never really gotten an actual count on that, but I know there's not a place to sit in the bleachers when you look up there.
I'm smiling because one of the things that I really love about the rodeo business is there are so many small and medium-sized towns, whether it's Cheyenne of 60,000 people, Pendleton, Oregon, which is roughly the same size as Uvalde, Uvalde, Texas, wherever, where, I mean, you don't have to have a great big community to put on a great big event in a rodeo. And you guys do that.
No, we've been very blessed there. Like I said, we get people from all over. I mean, it's a good weekend. The community benefits from it. The hotels will be full. The restaurants will be full. I mean, so it benefits everybody in our community.
Ever been a Chamber of Commerce study about how much money it brings into town?
They have. I don't have the numbers, but they have done that. They show quite a bit. I mean, matter of fact, we have the chamber involved in this also with us too, so that their members are out there too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Don, you were the mayor of Uvalde 2 years ago, and for folks who may have forgotten, just about 2 or 3 weeks from now in 2022, one of the most horrible events of the year took place in that awful school shooting that cost 21 lives there in Uvalde. And I don't want you to go back on that so much as, given the mission of the Cactus Jack Foundation and what you do, did that horrible day impact the way that you folks do business with the Cactus Jack Foundation and some of the things that you try to do today?
Well, I mean, of course, it affected everybody in this community at that. And of course, one of the things that we wanted to double down on and look at is we wanted more than ever to make these kids know that there were people out there that cared about them, and that we want to make sure they have what they need, and that we want them to be safe. But we wanted them to know that there are people out here that do care about them, and we will be there for them when they need us.
Yeah, and that's so important for kids. I mean, I don't know that there's much more that you can do than that right there to impact a child's life. And that, I'm guessing that is the mission, not just because of what happened 2 years ago, but part of why you started the whole Cactus Jack Foundation.
Well, it is. We started this because we saw a need. We saw a need in the deals. It's sad to say, Uvalde, if you look at the poverty level, on that, we're on the lower end of it. And we wanted to let kids know that they had the opportunity to succeed in life. And there are deals. I mean, I can tell you, I'll go back to one of the deals that we did. We challenged, the particular school was robbed where this tragedy took place. But probably in the early years, the first years of Cactus Jack, we challenged that school to a reading go. And if they met their reading go, we would send them on a field trip. And not only did they meet the reading goal, they surpassed it by about 35-40% of what the school was anticipating and everything. And these kids chose to go to, of all things, a Rampage hockey game. So we got buses and we got tickets and we sent them to a Rampage hockey game. And some of these kids had never been out of Uvalde, never been anywhere. And the cards and letters that we got back from these kids that they wrote themselves, we still have those cards. They're probably some of the most touching cards we've ever read.
That's awesome. That's got to make it all worth it when things like that happen.
It does. I mean, anything that we see negative, that takes it all away when you see that. When you see those kids smile and you know that you're doing something. I mean, this morning we have the Leon will be here tomorrow. Jason Farley's here today, and we're going to the schools and they're talking to these kids. And I saw the video this morning of him talking to those kids and interacting. And the smiles that you see on those kids' face makes it all worth it.
When you say Leon, you mean Leon Coffey. Leon and Jason have got to be two of the best guys you could send to a school. Leon is right in his element when you put him in the middle of a bunch of kids and let him have an impact on it.
Well, Leon is as big a part of the Cactus Jack as we are. He's been with us since day one. He's been coming every year since we started this. He's been a part of it. And, I know this is he's retiring this year and that, but we could plan to continue to have Leon on our board and be a part of the Cactus Jack going forward. And Jason is going to step right in where Leon left off, and we're looking forward to spending many, many years with Jason. When he comes to Uvalde, he's got a smile on his face the whole time. He doesn't mind getting in the stands and talking to kids and doing it. And it just, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the bull riders themselves.
Yeah.
They'll go up and they'll talk to these kids. We had Stetson Wright last year. We had a man in the stand that had cancer, and they only give him so. Stetson stopped what he was doing and went up in the stands and sat down and talked with the man. These bull riders are phenomenal. And one of the things that we also went back to the Cowboys. If you look at most sports and you look at most things, God plays a big role in everything we do. In the Cowboys, we still stand for the national anthem. We still open with prayer, and we give thanks to God. And that's one of the things that that's one of the things we love as Cowboys and the rodeo sport.
I think you already answered this question, but does the focus on young people of the Cactus Jack Foundation, is that reflected in the production of the bull riding? And I think you just answered that question by saying yes. You've got a great opportunity just with this bull riding and just with the people you bring to town to reach out to a lot of those kids.
We do, and we will go to the schools. We will go to the schools and see. We go to every campus that they'll let us on, and we can go see and we talk to. Then Saturday morning we'll have a deal at Oasis here where the kids can come out and get their pictures made with bull riders, talk to them, get their autographs and so forth. And last year we had them lined up out the door.
Yeah. Rodeo athletes are fun like that because they are still the most approachable, most reachable, the most down home, the most down to earth guys that you can put one-on-one with a kid like that.
Well, it is. I mean, Stetson last year was the champion of the world champion in that. And he went out to the Oasis and he was just as down to earth with those kids as anybody. And the other young men that were there with him too, they were all down to earth. You couldn't ask for anything better.
There have been opportunities after events when I've been trying to get an interview with Stetson Wright, and I've stood there for 45 minutes while he signed autographs, and I'm happy to do it. And he's happy to do it. That's the kind of guys these people are. And it's really, it's wonderful that you're able to have them be a part of your event and be a part of what you do. Has the mission of the Cactus Jack Foundation, as if you think back 13 or 14 years ago to when this started and what you do today, has the mission changed, morphed? Has it, have you found new, better ways, creative avenues to reach the young people of Uvalde, Texas?
Well, we're always looking for new avenues and so forth. But we're working with the teachers more and more and the individual schools more and more on a more and more basis to see what they need, because what fits one school may not fit the other school. So we're talking to them constantly to see what we need to do. And we have some other events that we do that we're starting to see a large turnout of kids, 300-400 a week at these events.
Yeah. Don, I know you're busy. I know you've got a lot going on. You're getting ready to kick this thing off. And number one, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your time, sir. And number two, I want to wish you the best of luck. I hope this is just a blowout weekend for you folks in Uvalde. I hope it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. And I hope you raise a ton of money. And thank you for doing God's work. Thank you for all the good things you do in your little hometown.
Well, thank y'all, because we couldn't do it without y'all being a part of it, having these interviews, the Cowboy Channel being a big part of our event, streaming it. Like I said, it's grown more and more. We see that our events talked about more and more at other rodeos. They talk about the Uvalde and the Cactus Jack coming to it and so forth. But we couldn't do it without y'all and without the Cowboys and the stock producers and our community and our fans.
Awesome.
We're very blessed.
Don McLaughlin, I appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.